Good morning, Timmy Talkers. I hope you're all well. And here we are, a very early morning one. And here we are on the 11th of the 11th. It marks today the 117th anniversary of the end of the Great War, or the war to end all wars, because there was never going to be anything as horrific as that ever again. And they were right. There's been no wars since. One or two notable exceptions. The Second World War, obviously, which then needed the First World War to be called the First World War as opposed to the Great War. Some military historians say it was one war with an intermission. I won't be so disrespectful, but that's what I've heard it referred to. And according to statistics I had a look at just now, there are up to 120 armed conflicts in the world as we speak. 120 between warring, usually religious factions. Now, if I was offered, given the ultimatum, I'll take you in the garden, Timmy, and shoot you, and the world will be a much better place in the future. Your children will be safer, your grandchildren will be a lot safer, and everyone will be harmonious. I might be willing to sacrifice myself for that. I don't think anyone in the First World War, the Great War, would have been willing to sacrifice themselves for what they can see now. I know for a fact that people in the Second World War, as according to that man on the news, in the breakfast news this week, wouldn't have been willing to sacrifice himself or all his friends for seeing the world as it is now. The big difference is they were fighting against a political ideal. You can fight against a political ideal because there is an ultimate goal. We want to be this or this. All around the world now that we are fighting, or people are fighting for religious ideology. You cannot fight against religious ideology, because if you win, you've won. If you get killed trying to win, then you're a martyr. You can't lose. It's just the ultimate goal. Some of them, people want to be fighting and die, because then they do get martyred and they are heroes in the afterlife. I find it very odd that if there is an afterlife, I hope there is, now I'm getting older, but if there is an afterlife, I'll be rewarded for what I've done, wicked deeds on earth. But that's unfortunately what we're up against, isn't it? The West in general is up against religious ideology, incompatible with Western thoughts, with Western ways of doing things. There is a massive difference between peaceful religion and the religion of peace, isn't there? It's hugely different. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. It's nice we still mark the Armistice Day or Remembrance Day, but it's a shame we have to. It should just be a given that was the day that the world was a better place and everyone was safer and happier and the harvests were bountiful and there was no need for anything, there was no disease or illness, and it was all like one big homogeneous melting pot on earth. It's not been like that, it never will be like that, and unfortunately the powers that be never want it to be like that, because all the time we're under a cosh of fear. We will do whatever we're told. In the West, there is no real threat of war, touch wood. So what there is, the underlying threat of what's happening. So you could say that suicide bombing attacks is an act of war, but a relatively inexpensive one for the West to deal with, and it keeps everybody under control. It keeps everybody begging for help. It keeps everybody asking to be kept safe. So what a gloomy one today. There is no answer. All I know is that tens of millions of men in the First War left parents without children, wives without husbands, children without parents. And all we get on the news is a constant dirge of nonsense. And the people that are held in highest esteem are people on Facebook and YouTube who eat hot noodles or can find a way to make cheese on toast better than someone else. It's just so tragic. So tragic. That's the pinnacle of society. I know it's ironic that I'm on a social media channel moaning about social media, but I find it quite cathartic, and I like venting. It's easier to do it to 700 people in one go than 700 people individually. So there we go. Let's just think about what we want. Hope we get there. Hope that people's forced sacrifice wasn't in vain, but I've got a terrible feeling it is. So there we go. Dear oh dear. Anyway, today's song is Stay by Shakespeare's Sister. For no other reason, I heard it the other day and I really liked it. So tomorrow I'll be a bit brighter. Once the thoughtfulness about war zones is over, I'll have a good one tomorrow about saying much chirpier in a different t-shirt. So see you later. Bye bye.